This is another TESTUDOS session, and the title is Trials of the Texas Roadrunner in a Roller Coaster Ride. Brackets, wash or money laundering. I've written about a roadrunner. A roadrunner is a kind of bird found in the American deserts. It is a bird that belongs to the family of birds called cuckoos. It is a cuckoo. And its behavior is interesting. A cuckoo is a bird that does not hatch its own eggs. They have specific types of birds that they creep into their nest when they are out. They lay their egg and forget. And when the other bird comes, it will brood the egg, hatch the egg, feed the chick, and sometimes the chick grows too big that it throws out the other bird's chicks. But due to the attachment that it has and the way it expresses itself, the other bird is able to take care of it until it's grown, and that's that. So they don't warm the eggs. They don't stay on nests taking care of the eggs. Those ones are taken care of by other birds. Why am I talking about a cuckoo? In life, people found themselves in such a situation. There is a writing in the Bible that in the last days does not mean that the world may be ending today. It's only God who knows about that. But it may be last days to an era, last days to a happening, last days to some kind of system that is not supposed to be continuing. There has been this electronic thing. It's a good era. It makes things work very easy for us. But there was a time I watched a movie and they were saying how somebody can be finished in future. People would delete your database, delete everything about you so that you don't have an identity, you don't have a nationality. And by then, electronic money had not started working. So, in deleting, it can be deleted up to your electronic money being deleted. So, you may be having $10, $1 million, $1 billion, kept safely in a bank, kept safely in a money, whatever, these modern things that we have for taking care of money. They are different. Different service providers provide them. And because we are getting away from the paper money and the coin money, we've gone to electronic money. It's very convenient. In Kenya, it started working perfectly when there was Corona and there was fear of handling money one would get. So we went to electronic, just like the rest of the world. Electronic money is very convenient, very important. And it's a sector that has not been tainted for a long time. If you have 1 digit, 1 shilling, $1, 1 franc, 1 euro, without you transacting, you expect that when you go to your digits, on the money you'll find your 1 euro. Imagine a scenario where You have transacted and the records disappear. Imagine a scenario where you have banked money and it disappears. It is a difficult situation to imagine. And when I heard of money laundering, I thought money laundering was moving money from one place to another place in different forms. People may commit crimes and then they are able to convert the value of that money through some legal activities, and then now the money is banked. That was my idea of money laundering. I didn't know that the electronic media can be used for money laundering. Now, here are a few things I have to bring to your notice. I won't mention names. I won't mention. It is now evident, it has happened to me, that figures can be changed by the service providers of the money units. Figures can get lost, something that was unique, unimaginable. Figures can get lost. Your documents can disappear from the service provider. Today you had these things well arranged. You had your identity, you had whatever, and you go, those documents have been fished out of the system. And when they have been fished out of the system, the place you run to for rescue, because you know their records will never be tampered with. Even when hackers tamper with your gadget, you know there is a safe house. Things have happened, you will run to the safe house, they'll give you the real documents. It has happened that I had money recorded documents disappearing when you go to see how you can see that thing, and then now you go to the service provider and wonders of wonders, it has disappeared. It is the same thing that you are seeing there. So I've thought this to be a dangerous move. It's better that we enlighten one another. This is a world where we are going electronic. If you cannot be able to entrust service providers, you cannot be able to entrust your records, be it as little money, even if it's 1 shilling, or $1, or whatever, 1 rupee. It means that there can come a time when you wake up in the morning, you had money, and suddenly you are a pauper. And what do we do? Mostly when you are in doubt, you had some figures and there is no figure, or there's a false figure. You will take off and run to the service provider, who instead of giving you what you expect, will give you what now you are seeing. A different figure, a different thing. Where do you complain? Because you take it any further, the service provider will sue you for defamation. It is a case that has happened to me. Real. Service provider has false records. The other place has false records. And you've gone there, you want to sort something that those records are needed for. So what am I telling the world? I'm telling the world that the electronic media may not be as safe as we think it is. Some people can collude up to the very, very places. The places where you run for rescue. A place where you run knowing that my gadget has been interfered with, my figures are lost, and these ones are the custodians of the figures. That's where I will rescue myself, get the records, and be able to prove whatever I'm proving. But it is alarming. It is scary that you get to that place and you find the changed figures now are appearing from that very database. Why am I saying this? These things happen to people who appear to be followed by certain characters, hackers, people who are positioned in certain places that feel secrets, their evil secrets may be revealed. Sometimes you may not even be knowing their secrets. But because they think you may be having access to their secrets, such a thing may happen. I'm sounding an alert. I'm sounding a world warning that there are such activities that are happening. So for the necessary service providers, for the necessary electronic media things all over the world, how can people be safe when you know that any moment the figures may change? I'm talking of a real life experience. I'm not talking of an imagination. Other times they are imagination. It shows that also your records can disappear. You can find you don't have your identification records. You don't have anything you have. Your certificates, if they are in the electronic forms, they are not there. And you are an entity. You belong to no government. You don't have a nationality, because if people can do that, they can also make your documents disappear in the government offices, if they are able to do that from the money point. And you might wake up to find yourself without a nationality, without an identity. When you say, I'm so and so, you are told, prove, where are the documents? No documents. And because such a places are entrusted with the documents, nothing is supposed to be lost. If they are not in the system, then you are the one who is lying. Chances are one can find himself in trouble when everything has been fixed or changed in the system. These are electronic crimes that are going on around the world. Please assist the common people, weak people like me and others. That is a scenario that you run to the office, and if it's the same of places producing the same thing, you are left the liar when you had those records. That's why I'm saying this is a roadrunner situation. You are pecked at like a snake or a lizard, because that's what the roadrunner feeds on. And wherever you try to go, you're left high and dry. What can you prove? What do you have? If you don't have, and the custodian has now the wrong thing that you have, who is lying? Shall we have honesty, truth in our handling of financial database and other documents, be it in the government, be it in companies, be it in service providers? The governments and everything around the world should rise up before people find themselves in a quagmire. I'm glad, I don't know what is happening, but something of the sort happened to me. I put it to the relevant people, they have those. But the question is, are we safe in the electronic age when things can be tailored on your gadget and other gadgets? That's my take for now. People around the world, ask yourself that question. Are we safe in the electronic media? If the figures can change, that is my take for now.